House Speaker Paul D. Ryan Weiss and his fellow Republicans celebrated crossing off a big one from their tax bill todo list this week, getting their bill through a key committee. The House of Representatives could vote on the bill as early as next week. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans unveiled their tax package Thursday. There was a lot of momentum for Republicans this week on tax reform, but look a little closer and you'll see that the process was also beset with struggles that underscore some major cracks in their plan. Here's a rundown of the Republicans' not-so-great few weeks on tax reform, and how the entire plan could still derail. Since its release Thursday, there are already enough potential no votes to the Senate bill. At least 3 Senate Republicans have said they would not support a tax plan that adds too much to the debt, report the Post's Damian Paletta and Mike Debenis. Retiring Sen. Jeff Flake Rares expressed direct concerns about the Senate GOP plan, citing staggering national debt by opting for short-term fixes while ignoring long-term problems for taxpayers and the economy. 3 no votes is one too many for GOP leaders, who are trying to pass this tax plan in the Senate with only Republicans. They only hold 52 seats in the chamber, which was already an extremely tight margin. Even if they get a bill through the Senate, GOP leaders will only be halfway done. They still need to square it with the House bill, which has some major differences. They are losing a public opinion battle about whether their plan helps the middle class. Half of Americans oppose the plan President Trump and Republicans outlined in September, according to New Washington Post ABC News polling. They don't believe it will help the middle class more than it will help the wealthy. Independent analysts say Americans are right to be skeptical. The House bill would clearly cut the tax rates for businesses and the wealthy, but for people lower on the income scale, it would provide a mishmash of tax cuts and lost deductions. It would expand tax credits for families and nearly doubling the standard deduction, but the bill also would roll back popular tax deductions, like allowing some people to deduct state and local income taxes they pay on their federal returns. That could raise taxes overall on some Americans. This week, Ryan got dinged by the Post's fact-checker for originally saying everyone will get a tax cut. That's not true. Republicans need to find a way to change perceptions about who their tax plan would help, and quickly. They need the tax reforms to show any substantial accomplishments this session. Their various bills to roll back Obamacare pulled in the teens for popularity, and didn't make it through Congress. The president is a complicating factor. Trump in Vietnam. Jonathan Ernst Reuters. Republicans have already had to publicly disagree with or even ignore President Trump on whether 401k plans would be altered. He didn't want to touch contributions. House Republicans wouldn't rule it out. How much to cut the corporate tax rate? He originally wanted it lower than 15%, and whether to use this tax plan to also implode Obamacare by repealing the individual mandate. Trump suggested it. Republicans haven't taken him up on that. Trump also isn't helping by being off message. In a call with Senate Democrats this past week to convince them to get on board, the president said his accountant told him he'd be a big loser under the proposal. During that call, Trump also reportedly threw House Republicans' Kerry-crafted bill under the bus, telling Senate Democrats they'll like their chamber's version much better. After Tuesday's election results, the pressure is on Virginia Governor-elect Ralph Northam. Right celebrates his victory, with Virginia Gov. Terry McAuliffe and his wife, Dorothy Cliff Owen. Part of the urgency on a tax bill comes from the fact Republicans are 10 months into governing without a major legislative victory. Whatever pressure was on Republicans before this week to get a tax bill done just got dialed up to 11. In state and local elections Tuesday across the nation, Republicans got whomped. Exit polls showed Virginia voters especially wanted to stick it to Trump. Republicans on Capitol Hill read Tuesday's results as a warning sign they've got to get tax reform done sooner rather than later. It could, because the elections went against the Republicans, said Sen. Orrin G. Hatchruta, one of the Senate's top tax-writing lawmakers, about whether the election could complicate their tax plan by putting more pressure on lawmakers. The distractions are on, too. Alabama's GOP Senate candidate Roy Moore, Bryn Anderson. Senate Republicans unveiled their tax plan Thursday, and then the allegations against Roy Moore, the GOP candidate for Senate in Alabama, sucked the air out the room. Instead of promoting the bill, GOP senators spent the afternoon deciding whether to call for Moore to drop out of the critical Senate race after he was accused of initiating a UAL encounter with 14-year-old girl when he was 32.